There she is. Nicole, how are you?
Hi, good. How are you guys? I'm so excited to have an inflation lesson. Woo-hoo.
Yes. Well, how do we start with the inflation lesson? Where should we begin?
So inflation is stuff that you could buy before you can't buy now. So dollars that used to get you something will not get you the same thing. How much were movie tickets when we were growing up?
When we were growing up, they were nothing. I mean,
like $5.
Yeah.
Right.
$5.
And how much are they now?
Well, you can't even take a family to go see a movie these days.
Right.
$15
probably.
So like Tanya with her $5, baby Tanya, like transport her to today. And baby Tanya couldn't get into a movie today.
Yeah, right. Makes sense.
So that's inflation. So it's what happens when there's not enough supply and then there's lots of demand. Okay. So that's what we're seeing with not a lot of supply, with all the supply chain issues going on, like all the boats that are stuck out there. And so that's why prices have to rise. So Tanya, you sell modern woman shirts, right?
Correct.
So let's say for easy math, they're $10, which they should be much more. You have 100 people that want to buy that $10 shirt. And now you can't even get 100 shirts anymore. So you have to raise your prices from $10 to $20 and you're still making the same amount. Like if you have stuff to buy, puppy food, other things in your life, and you have to make the same amount, but everybody else is going to pay more for it.
How are how are employers reacting to employees wanting to cover the cost of inflation and wanting more money for their jobs?
Well, wages are going up as they should because stuff is more expensive, but a lot of people are freaking out about gas prices. Gas prices are actually not that much more if you adjust for inflation. I mean, it sucks at the pump right now, but if everybody has to raise their prices. So that's going to have to go up too. And not a lot of people are driving as much. So there's not enough demand out there, which is another supply demand issue. And there's going to be a quiz, guys.
No, we're not good. By the way, as soon as you start going through numbers,
yeah.
I start panicking. It reminds me of those days. Tax time, it seems like it's already here again. What are new rules now when it comes to the taxing?
So do you guys have companies right now? You should focus on the 1099s that should get out by the end of the month. So if you had any contractors out there, so the end of January is what you should focus on right now. The other stuff is please don't claim your office as a deduction if you don't work for yourself. A lot of people are working from home, but just remember that could be a red flag. So,
but if you do work for yourself, you can.
Yes.
Right? You have your own
business. You can, but you have to be really, really careful. I've heard horror stories of audits where they'll come in and if you have like one thing that is personal, like if you have a dog bed or something in there,
really,
then yeah, you'll get screwed.
Got it. Okay. Well, that's good advice. Anybody have a dog bed where they are? Oh, you don't work. We work for iHeart, so it doesn't apply necessarily. What about? And we'll take a break after this. But what about products that are going to be not on shelf, like simple things like cereals and tomato sauce, things that are a result of the supply chain backup? When do we think that's going to clear up?
So here's what happened. Like with the pandemic, it started from east to west, right? It started in Asia. And with the variants, it's going from west to east. So economists are talking about this thing called this bullwhip, where it's the supply chain issues are happening all over. It's not consistent right now. So, as far as consumers, we're probably not going to see stuff for the foreseeable future. But here's the thing, guys. Here's what we can control. We can only control one thing. What is that?
How much we spend.
True. And also ourselves, just ourselves in general.
Okay. Yeah.
And so we can't control all these issues. We can't control inflation. We can't control supply chain stuff. So we can focus on our own money and what we can control. And I say, this is a great year to start investing because inflation is really high right now. I think it's going to come down. So typically it's around 3%, but the only way to compensate for that is to make more than 3% on your money. So right now, if you just put your money in a bank account, you're making what? Bupkis, nothing. Right.
Yeah.
And so you need to make at least 3% in order to just keep pace with inflation. So I say just keep it simple with it. Index funds and chill. You can also Netflix and chill, but index funds are the easiest.
Index funds are so romantic, aren't they? Hey, check out Money Rehab with Nicole Lapin on her podcast on iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcast. Good to see you. Thanks for the class today.
Yes.
A+ for everybody.
See you later. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.